You have just heard the attention call, which signals the entry of the troops.
From the right side of the grandstand, you are witnessing the entry of colors. The Philippine national flag with the colors of the major service commands and the General Headquarters Armed Forces of the Philippines being carried by the cadets from the Philippine Military Academy, while the AFP masked colors are being carried by the members of the Philippine Marine Corps.
From both sides of the grandstand, you are also witnessing the entry of the troops for the parade and review. It is a division size of troops composed of 2 brigades coming from the 3 branches of service: the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the General Headquarters.
To your left are the contingents in their gala uniform, while to your right are the contingents in their battle dress uniform. The 1st Brigade in their gala attire consists of the ceremonial contingents coming from the Navy, the Air Force, the Security and Escort Battalion of the Army, General Headquarters and Headquarters Service Command, and the cadets from the Philippine Military Academy.
The 2nd Brigade in their battle dress attire is comprised of the Army's Battalion of Excellence from the 7th Infantry Division, the Special Operations Command, Special Operations Wing of the Philippine Air Force, members of the Marine Corps, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines Composite Reservist Battalion.
Over the years, as the global and national socio-political environment confronting our nation evolves and in the process brings new challenges, the Armed Forces has devoted its energy in transforming itself, holding fast to still relevant traditions while shedding off that those need reform.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines was once a force for independence against foreign powers and crusaders for the sovereignty of the Filipino people. But now, it is a vanguard for external security, bringing peace to Filipino communities across the archipelago and paving the way for an environment conducive to unbridled prosperity.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines is the Filipino people's staunchest defender and protector from any threat, guided by the light of justice and law. On this occasion, the Armed Forces reassures the Filipino people of its unwavering commitment to the mission to ensure peace and foster nation building with its internal peace and security plan Bayanihan, and the thrust on the transformation of a professional, capable, and responsive armed forces that is the source of national pride.
These troops with utmost commitment and dedication are always present to extend their services for the Filipino nation and its people. They commit themselves firmly in implementing the ideals being espoused by the Internal Peace and Security Plan Bayanihan and the Armed Forces of the Philippines Transformation Roadmap.
Anytime, anywhere, and whatever the situation calls for, the foot soldier, the air, to achieve peace. They are the soldiers at the forefront of securing the AFP's headquarters and the National Capital Region.
The Army's contingent, represented by the Security and Escort Battalion, is under the command of Colonel William Peñafiel, with his staff, Majors Felipe Jaramilla, Jamal Bonsa, Orlando Tamayo, Joselito Alday. The Security and Escort Battalion, specially trained for area security and for rendering military honors to important personages and visiting dignitaries. Its soldiers likewise provide security and escort to VIPs and special guests.
We now have the Angels of Mercy and the Guardians of the Philippine Skies, the Air Force Battalion led by Lieutenant Colonel Arnold Dadis, his staff, Majors Eric Tipon, Richard Dalag, Vic Tirol, and Luis Leander. Represented by the Air Force Gale Battalion, this unit conducts military honors and other ceremonial requirements of the Philippine Air Force. It also functions by according ceremonial honors to
Dinero, with his staff, Lieutenant Commanders Jennifer Monfort, Aldrin Gacusan, Jaime Remillo, Greg Corpus. The Navy secures our territorial waters and conducts SEALIF operations.
Be seated as representing the different of the and Major Deacon
unit operation ranging from reconnaissance, intelligence, demolition, and other special operations.
Following is a battalion from the 710th Special Operations Wing of the Air Force led by Lieutenant Colonel Jose Interior Jr. His staff, Captains Dadi De Ocampo, Patrimonio Cesar,
The Philippine Marine Prudente Parcia, a specially trained fighting unit of the Navy designed for rapid deployment. The Philippine Marines conduct amphibious, counterinsurgency, and special operations in all kinds of terrain and in any weather condition.
Following is a contingent from the reserve component of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, led by Midshipman Commander Ruben Estioco Tejada. His staff, Midshipman Lieutenant Commanders Mart Joven Samarita Uriza, Carlo Rico Baisa Bolalin, Earl Noel Damasco Gomez, and Roberto Butik Malingan. For this parade, the AFP Reserve Force is represented by the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, which is one of the main sources of reservists, particularly for the Philippine Navy.
Approaching is the motorized contingent that shows our initiative in modernizing, professionalizing, and attaining the AFP's vision, which is a world-class armed forces that is a source of national pride. Showcase are the special units, the assets in combat support, peacekeeping, and engineering, as well as in humanitarian assistance and disaster response operations, which includes the reservist asset. The contingent is headed by Colonel Efran Baluyo, with his staff, Captain Dominador Pongos, Ray Inaño, Richard Espinosa, and Mar Aquino.
We now have the 3KM 450 trucks with the AFP Peacekeepers and the V150 armored fighting vehicles of the AFP Peacekeeping Operations Center, which are intended to enhance the capability of our peacekeepers in the performance of their mandate in the United Nations mission areas. This is a manifestation of the country's commitment to global peace and international stability. Today, the AFP deploys military peacekeepers in Ivory Coast, in the boundary of India and Pakistan, and in Haiti.
Next is the contingent from the Armed Forces of the Philippines Joint Special Operations Group aboard their assault vehicles. The contingent is composed of teams from Light Reaction Regiment, Special Operations Command, Philippine Army, SEALs from the Naval Special Operations Group, Philippine Navy, and the Combat Air Control Team from the 720th Special Operations Group, 710th Special Operations Wing, Philippine Air Force. These troops are the finest in the AFP's counter-terrorist force.
Explosive ordnance was created to help on the anti-terrorist campaign of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The EOD vans are support vehicles that carry the explosive and ordnance disposal teams and their equipment during operations. The EOD teams of the Philippine Army and the Philippine Air Force are experts in handling explosives, and they ensure safe our citizens from explosive devices.
Next, we have the K9 Explosive Detection Team for the Philippine Army and the K9 team of the 7th types of explosive and improvised explosive devices. The K-9 team and the EOD personnel are both highly trained individuals, bomb disposal, and other operations.
The CBRN platoon, its mission is to provide detection, identification, and limited decontamination of chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear hazards in support to the Philippine Army units. The mounted troops from the Philippine Navy, you could see the prime mover with a small unit riverine craft. On board the small unit riverine craft are members of the Philippine Marines capable of conducting amphibious, seaborne, and beach landing operations using their fast assault boats.
Approaching is the mechanized infantry assets of the Armed Forces of the Philippines led by Lieutenant Colonel Sidney Atega. The Commando V-150, primarily designed for internal security operations such as reconnaissance, base security, and escort convoy. This kind of vehicle is primarily designed for internal security operations suited in a wide range of reconnaissance and security operations.
The Simba armored fighting vehicles perform excellently for internal security operations, reconnaissance, and fire support mission. This vehicle can reach the maximum speed of 100 km per hour.
Following are the light armored vehicles 300s of the Philippine Marine Corps. LAV 300 is a highly maneuverable, multi-purpose amphibious six-wheel drive vehicle.
Passing in front of you is the Armored Personnel Carrier or APC Track Battalion reinforced from the Mechanized Infantry Division Philippine Army. The battalion commander is Lieutenant Colonel Sidney V. Atega. His staff captains Luis V. Male, Irban Rimando, Crisologo Bello Jr., Adrian Aquino, and Jovan Robles. Two armored personnel carriers, including two in ambulance configuration and 4 armored recovery vehicles. All these APCs are with a platform of an M113, an effective technology of armored carrier that enhances our soldiers' mobility and survivability in the battlefield.
With modern refurbishment procedure, this M113 platform are put into good use to become adaptable to our geographic operational conditions. The APCs with ERCWS have a weapon system wherein the guns can be remotely controlled using controller handles and viewed at the display unit, completely protecting the gunner from the enemy's hostile action. Each target acquisition is also technologically advanced as it can detect, observe, acquire, and engage targets during day and night conditions. The 6 APCs with ERCWs and on the other hand,
but this weekend Century as state-of-the-art fighting vehicles, armor protected, armor ng bayan, tagapagtanggol ng mamamayan. Showcase now are the artillery assets. The 105mm howitzers, the main artillery guns of the Army Artillery Regiment, mounted on KM503 trucks. The artillery regiment can provide timely, accurate, and effective artillery fire support to maneuver forces. It is capable of providing continuous, accurate, and timely field artillery fires, providing fire support elements to Army maneuver elements, providing component communication, survey, target acquisition, and fire direct system.
The Philippine Marine Corps also uses the 105mm howitzers as its main artillery piece. These artillery pieces have proven indispensable in conventional and semi-conventional warfare. Equipped with 40mm anti-air guns as primary weapon and caliber 50 with twin guns as its secondary armament, its first deployment was during the last APEC 2015, where it was deployed in 3 different bases. Most of these artillery assets are stationed in the southern part of the country.
Presenting now are the Philippine Navy M35 with the anti-aircraft and the Philippine Air Force anti-aircraft mounted on the KM450. These are the 20mm M13 cannons that complement the ground-based operations of the 7th Special Operations Wing. The weapons were originally attached to the F-5 Freedom Fighters and modified as ground-based weapons after the commissioning of the aircraft. We now have the engineering equipment used in the Bayanihan projects. Equipment help or the equipment that help in the construction of the roads and bridges, farm-to-market roads, and other infrastructure projects. The Trackman lift is specialized equipment used to lift electricians and engineers in ensuring that power and communications are always up. The road grader, considered as an icon of development in rural areas, it serves as a workhorse of military engineers in road repair and maintenance operations. Behind is a payloader, a heavy equipment machine utilized in construction, which is used to move aside or load materials. The communication vans of the Philippine Air Force and the Philippine Navy, a specialized ground vehicle equipped with communication, electronics, and information system equipment capable of coordinating radio communications in various frequency bands.
We now have the first forward medic surgical van. This provides for the acute surgical and medical treatment to forward deployed service members to attain stabilization of patients and to achieve the most efficient use of life-saving medical treatment. This is a facility for receiving and sorting of patients through the so-called triad.
Together with the surgical vans are the field ambulances KM451, the mobile field hospitals. These ambulances ensure that our troops are supported with reliable field care until the casualties are evacuated for hospital care.
Our armed forces is at the forefront of humanitarian and disaster relief operations. Your armed forces is involved in planning, disaster operation, and post-disaster operation.
We have the Ready Disaster Response Team of the 525th Engineer Combat Battalion, the 51st Engineer Brigade, Philippine Army. The team has its water search and rescue and an urban search and rescue teams with trailer-mounted rubber boat towed in a KM450 truck and a rescue van, respectively. The rescue van carries an assortment of rescue extraction equipment. The Philippine Army Disaster Response Unit performs search and rescue in collapsed structure and confined spaces, conducts high-angle and water search and rescue.
We now have the Disaster Response and Relief Operations trailer, used to rescue or evacuate flooded-stricken countrymen within the metropolis or deliver relief goods in flooded areas.
The 505th Search and Rescue Group, known as the Angels of the Philippine Air Force, they perform air search and rescue missions, carry out relief operations, and execute aeromedical with emergency medical technicians, or the EMTs. The unit performs deep underwater search and retrieval operations, as well as surface water search and rescue operations during floods and sea emergencies. This time, we have the reservist motorized contingent that assists in relief and rescue during disaster or calamities and to serve as a ready pool of well-trained and committed participants in nation building. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on the screens provided, you could see the Philippine Navy ships. The Armed Forces of the Philippines has focused on equipping the Philippine Navy with modern and advanced assets needed to provide a more credible and capable defense stature. The Philippine Navy, tasked to patrol the waters and the borders of the Philippine seas, will be receiving more sophisticated ships to boost its capability. 2 naval helicopters arrived in December 2013, while 2 strategic sea lift vessels are expected to arrive in May 2016 and in May 2017. Meanwhile, the much anticipated 2 frigates of the Philippine Navy are in the final stages of bidding. With the arrival of the new patrol ships, transport ships, and warships in the coming days, the maritime operations of the Navy will be highly improved. These high-end equipment and naval assets will also help the troops in efficiently performing their missions. Well, modernization efforts have found a new focus as the Armed Forces of the Philippines reorient its operations toward territorial defense. The strong and generous support from no less than the Commander-in-Chief, President Benigno S. Aquino III, has brought about the unprecedented influx of much-needed equipment and weaponry that will enable the Armed Forces of the Philippines to perform even better.
With strong military allies from all over the world, the AFP is confident that further collaboration can strengthen the capability of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, whether in training or in humanitarian assistance and disaster response.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention at the horizon to witness a flyby of the newly acquired aircraft of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Well, leading the pack are 15 SF-260FH aircraft from the Air Education and Training Command. These aircraft are utilized for the basic pilot training of future Air Force pilots. Next is the CASA C-295 aircraft from the 220th Airlift Wing, designed for medium lift operations, particularly the transport of personnel and cargoes vital to AFP mission accomplishment. We now have the helicopters of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, led by the 3 Bell 412 Combat Utility Helicopters, followed by the UH-1Ds of the 205th Tactical Helicopter Wing, and the Sokol Rescue Helicopters of the 505th Search and Rescue Group. We also have the 5 Augusta Westland 109 Attack Helicopters of the 15th Strike Air Force Helicopters of
attention about
an element of SU-11 Warriors has made a victory pass to signal the successful mission accomplishment of today's 80th AFP anniversary celebration. The venerable SU-11 Warriors, call sign Blackjack, are piloted by Lieutenant Colonel Randy Pasqua and Major Christian Barella of the Air Defense Wing, based at Basa Air.